So one of the things that I really took away from my experience at Genentech, being involved in early clinical development and early clinical development strategy for a product, was how essential a team approach was. That really perspective, multiple different perspectives need to be taken into account if you're going to optimize the chances of this really interesting science having a real clinical impact down the line. So really early on, you bring in a lot of different people, not just the scientist who has been working on the molecule and not just the clinician or not just a clinical development person, but people who you wouldn't really expect, like the commercial people, the people who are going to be marketing down the line. But also regulatory people, even though you might be 3-4 years away from actually going into filing an IND, you bring the regulatory people along early. You bring in people who are thinking about things like reimbursement, people who are doing competitive intelligence. You bring all of those people around the table early to start thinking about first, is there an unmet need here? And why is there an unmet need? What's the standard of care, and what's the gap that the current standard of care is leaving open? And then also you get inputs as to, well, what other molecules or what other drugs are in development for this patient population now? And what's the unmet need likely to be in 5, 10, 15 years' time? So some of it is guesswork, but some of it is really educated guesswork. At least at Genentech, one of the biggest drivers for decision making was, is it really going to be the best in class, or is it going to be first in class? If not, we at Genentech, we didn't do sort of Me Too approaches. We actually didn't want to waste time, energy, and money and resources on things that weren't truly going to be needed or impactful. So, that sort of multidisciplinary approach very early I found to be an incredible learning experience, but really incredibly valuable in informing what the development plan was going to look like to be able to hit those hurdles.